Happy Sunday. I am starting up on the Random Quote Machine today. I think I'm gonna get all these front-end libraries projects done this weekend. Um, there's, I mean, if they're this easy, I don't know if they're all gonna be this easy, but the Random Quote Machine seemed pretty straightforward. So I'm just gonna get it started. To get started, they have you fork this code pin thing. So I just went ahead and did that. Let me make sure my notifications are off for today. There you go. So I went ahead and did that. I forked it over on my CodePen account. The next thing I want to do is grab these user stories and pull them into the page so that I can see them, so I don't have to go back and forth over and over again because that's kind of annoying. So I'm going to go in here, just throw them right in here. That way I can just kind of read them quickly and see what we're doing. So without further ado, I think I'm going to use React for this, although honestly there's really not. Let's see on my first load. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if it's really necessary. Like React feels like maybe too much. Like it's not even that necessary, but I am going to set it for React. So I think we do that in here. Preprocessor, React, cool. And do we need React DOM as well? The entry point, I think we need that too. So save that. Awesome. Um, and then let's just do like a div with an ID. I wonder if this can be the actual div they're looking for. I see a wrapper element with a corresponding ID quote box. Yeah, we might be able to just throw all of our React directly into that. Um, so over in our JS, honestly, we'll see how this works. I've never actually like just done this on CodePen where I just go directly into using React. So I'm just gonna do app equals, like this isn't JSX, so I don't know if I can even do, let's see, none. I need to look up how to do that. But let's just try something like h1 test. And then it's React DOM dot render app document dot get element by ID, and then inside of that we want to reference the quote box. So what it? Oh wow, okay. Would you look at that? Is this working? Sweet. Okay. Wow, that was really easy. I don't know why I thought that was going to be so much harder. For some reason, I guess I thought I wouldn't be able to just put these tags in here because it's not. I didn't know if it was JSX or whatever. So that's cool. Seems to be working. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is have this quote box. So that should be done because there's a wrapper element with a corresponding ID quote box. Then within here, the quote box will have an element with a corresponding ID text. So let's go ahead and make this more of a wrapper. And then let's do a const text equals p, and then I'm not actually sure if that's going to be our quote or not, but I'll go ahead and I'm just going to put this as text. And within a quote box, okay, so there needs to be an author. I don't know why it's not formatting it over. It's kind of a weird thing. It might be because I'm in, like the formatter is set to JavaScript instead of JSX. So there's the preprocessor, behavior, template, privacy pin details. Huh. I don't see any way to like format this differently. Format JavaScript. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to do that differently. That's okay. Author equals p, ID equals author, right? Author, and then closing p tag, and then we can go ahead and pull these guys in here. So do a text and an author. Oh man, I can't use, oh, there you go. All right, and then throw some text in here. This is the quote. This is the author. All right. Should see that show up, maybe. So what's going on here? What's wrong? What? That's weird. So what's going on here? App div. I've got my text. Does this need to be defined like above or something? Oh man, did they not let me use line sliding? Oh, that sucks. I almost want to just like build this not in CodePen or like Code Sandbox or something, because a lot of the stuff that I like in VS Code for shifting text around is just not in here, which is a real bummer. Well, what's going on here? Text. If I just throw text in here, are we getting text still? No. So maybe this has to do. It's probably, honestly, this probably has to do with the fact that I'm not actually like, the app isn't like a real React component. So I probably need to do something like that. Or even wrap this guy, because then it's returning something. But that's not doing anything either. So let's go back to square one for a second and just see if we can get this to render again. Originally, I think I had an H1 element. So I'm going to try that again. H1 test H1. Because that's what I think originally we got to work. There you go. Okay, so that works. So then if I do text, that should work. That should render this stuff. Yep, this is the quote. Okay, back to app. And I should, if I do div should work too, and it does. It's just behind the thing there. So then, what's weird is I don't understand why the like composition isn't working. I'm gonna go back to having just test. Oops. Test, and then let's try doing it this way, where we actually make it like a functional component. That's interesting. So I can't return it either. I feel like I'm missing something here as far as how you're supposed to do your React stuff in CodePen. So might need to look that up. Render. Oh, maybe because this is now JSX. Like that's an actual component. Yeah, that's what's going on. So whenever you do this guy, they actually, whenever you want it to be an actual React component, like this, I guess they want you to use the JSX syntax. Not a big deal. So then switch that to text. So now I should have my quote component, and I don't. What's up with this? Does this, oh, maybe this needs to be, yeah, okay, that's what's up. So you just have to actually write these out as components, which is, that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't think to do that. This is the, okay, this is the quote. This is the author. Author. All right, good. This is the quote. This is the author. Those IDs are in there. So within the quote, you can see the corresponding author. A clickable element with the corresponding ID new quote. So we'll do this button new quote equals button new quote, and then we will also put in a right here we'll do an ID equals new dash quote. Good, and then throw that in our app down here. Cool. So we got a button, and then what else do we have here? Tweet quote. A clickable element called tweet quote. Okay. Const tweet quote equals button. Oops. Button ID equals tweet quote and tweet quote button. Good deal. Tweet quote. And then in the element text, so within here, this will be the random quote. So I should just put this as the random quote. For now, we'll have to come up with some way to load those up whenever this thing starts. And then on the first load, we'll display that this is the quotes, random quotes. So we'll just display the random quotes author. And when the new quote button is clicked, my quote machine should fetch a new quote and display it in the text element. Gotcha. Okay, and then my quote machine should fetch the new quotes author when the new quote button is clicked and display it in the new or in the author element. Okay. So just for simplicity's sake, I think we can. I'm guessing we can avoid. I'm gonna actually go ahead and run these tests and see because we should get some passing. Just to make sure that like it's okay. It's running okay with React and everything. Let's see. Okay, wow. So we like hit all of them except for clickable. Let's see. Clickable A element. Oh, gotcha. This needs to be an A element. That's why. So that needs to be an A. Cool. Let's run those tests again. Oops. And let's just see. Make sure. A element. Oh, that's probably not actually the problem. It was that I didn't even have a tweet quote. There you go. Run tests. Why does it keep closing that? That's weird. A element. Am I crazy? There's an A element. Oh yeah, I am crazy. You gotta render it out, bud. Tweet quote. Okay, there's my tweet quote. What a great link. Run these tests again. There we go. Okay. So we're just flying through these user stories. Now let's see what else we have here. When the new quote button is clicked, my quote should fetch a new quote. So I'm curious about this one. If we actually, if they actually want us to fetch a quote, or if we can just display a different quote. Let's see. Quote box wrapper should be horizontally centered. Can I tweet the quote? Okay. All right. So now that we have all this basic stuff set up, let's go ahead and create some state for this. And to do that, I think I'm going to try using the use state, which with CodePen, I don't know for sure how this works. I think you just call in, like I think you would just do, turn this guy into a return statement. And that is so dumb that I can't use the alt move trick that I always use. It's really annoying. Okay, and then pull div out here. All right. So we're back to baseline, and then we will do a state. We'll call this, what do we want to call this? Maybe just like current quote, and then set current quote equals use state, and then we'll set the current quote to this is my current quote, and then we will give the text property, or we'll give the text component a quote property and pass in current quote, and then we will read from I'll actually just do quote. I think we can just do this. Maybe quote. We just do that. Ooh, maybe not. Before we get too crazy, I'm gonna start here. Let's see if we can do this. So I think I'm trying to remember how we do this. Is it still props.quote? It might be. It might be props.quote. I don't know. Something's not right here, and I'm gonna just try to work backwards for a second to see what's wrong. It might be, the problem might actually be that we don't have use state available. So I'm gonna see, yeah, okay, so use state isn't actually available um, within CodePen just like this for whatever reason. I might be using it wrong, but I'm just gonna look up CodePen use state React because I have a feeling that I probably need to import this to actually use it. Like, oh yeah, in fact, right here you can see that they import use state from React. So, and they do it, that's interesting that they do it this way, because I would think that this way above would have been the way that they do it. I'm going to try that first. So import use state from React, and then see if we can actually get something to display. So that didn't work, it looks like, which might be what they discovered too when they tried to do it, unless I'm just being silly and I might need, oh yeah, I need to actually wrap this in parentheses for sure. Although that seems like it also didn't work. So I'm going to try, oh, lowercase r. I feel like import should work. We've got Babel set up, so I would have thought that that would work, but it doesn't seem like it is. So I guess we'll just resort to what it looks like they resorted to, which is to go to equals and then an uppercase React. So like the main, it's kind of dumb, but let's see if that works. Yeah, okay, so that's what worked. All right, and we're passing our property in. We have a quote, and let's go ahead and call that quote. I think we can do that. Test, perfect. Cool, and then we'll take the current quote as our value going into that. Cool, this is my current quote. Awesome. So now, just to keep things simple, let's do this. Let's make a handle click event method or event on new quote, and then we will call use state. Might need to do this with a this is my new quote. All right, so current quote, new quote. That's not working. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I have to actually call set current quote like that. This is my current quote, and it's going to throw up, and I think the reason it's going to throw up is because it wants to be in a function that's not just like running all the time, so I think I can do it now, maybe. Oh, maybe not. This is my new quote. Oh. Huh, well, let's see. If we're actually updating the current quote, then this state should be updated to have current quote, and the text should show that. And it is not. Handle click. Let's try, just to make sure I'm not like goofing around and doing something weird here. Let's try just an alert dot alert hi, so that we can make sure. Yeah, so we're not even, this button handle click is not even working. Oh, because I'm silly. Hang on. I'm so used to handle the words like handle click, meaning like every React app we've ever made has a handle click method, but on click is the actual event I think that we are looking for. So set current quote, this is my new quote, on click. That's still not working. What the? Let's try doing an alert now. Alert. Hey. Still not getting anything. Let's try consoling. consoling out just to see object error. Require is not defined. What? I'm kind of like, honestly, I feel bad because I actually really like Chris Coyer, who's I think a big part of the CodePin project, but I'm honestly not liking, I haven't liked CodePin a lot lately. It just seems like it has a lot more problems than, I don't know, just like the wonkiness, and it's probably, I know in this case it's probably my code. I'm not mad at this right now, but like just the wonkiness of imports and stuff seems kind of weird. Um, but and maybe that's different when you go to the pro level. That could be a different thing. But this is weird to me. Like I feel like I should be able to do. Okay, so yeah, now it's calling it every single time because that's what React does when you have a function in there that's not like wrapped correctly. So I'm gonna look at button on click React because I don't think I'm writing that wrong, but yeah, on click handle click. Let's just try that. Let's maybe they want me to say like const handle click click equals a function. Oh, I should do it in here so I can actually reference this. Handle click equals a new function that calls set current quote and then sets it to the new quote, and then this way I can just put in handle click directly without handle click directly on click. Why is this not working? This is crazy. This is my current quote, so I am getting the state correctly, but I'm setting it and it doesn't care. It does not care at all. New quote on click. Oh, you know what? I know what's going on now. This is too funny. I'm sitting over here getting upset, griping about CodePin. I knew this was probably my problem, but it's always better to blame the platform first before taking responsibility. So what the problem is that this onClick property needs to be passed in to the button that we're actually using so that when we click on it, it actually does something. That's what's happening. In fact, just to make sure I'm not crazy, because I'm pretty sure I should have been able to do set current quote and then pass in another new quote. I should be able to do this too. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm gonna leave this handle click in here for now because I have a feeling we're gonna want to do some other junk in there. And then we also need to get the random quotes author. And so what might be a good solution for this is just to make it easier, and this might need a change. They may actually, the tests may be checking for an actual fetch to somewhere, but I'm going to do a array, and then in that array I'm going to have a quote, cool quote. Why don't we just go get some quotes really fast? Movie quotes. Movie quotes object. Like a JSON. Can I just get like a JSON movie quotes? I just want like, here we go, it's this. Tags, attribution. Cool, this is perfect. So we'll just take this whole array and copy that and throw it inside of our const quotes here. Whoops. Oh man, this is driving me nuts. I'm trying to remember how where's the option for changing the view? Changing view. Right there, editor's view, layout. I want to do like one of these layouts and then make this guy go all the way up. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, so const quotes equals blah, blah, blah. And then here we will set the current quote. And instead of the current quote just being this is my current quote, we'll actually just set it to the first thing in the array. And then when I get a current quote in my text here, I will read quote.body. Oops, quote.body. And then in my author, I need to have an author in here. Author. I will read author.attribution, I think. Author.attribution. Or, let's see. Or I could, yeah, I'm going to do this up a level. I'm just going to say quote author, and then in my text, I'm going to pass current quote dot body, which I think is what he's using in here. Body, yeah. And then for the author, I'm going to use author equals current quote dot author. And we're having problems here. Const quotes equals, we have all this stuff in here. And I wonder what, do we get any information out in the console? Let's see. Quote is not defined. Quote is not defined. Where am I even calling quote? Oh, right here. Quotes. It should be quotes. That's why. Is that all the problem was? I hope so. Nice. Okay. So you can never live long enough to make them all yourself. And some of these don't have attribution. That's too bad. So to prevent from having this issue where we might have a lack of attribution on the object, I'm going to go ahead and say we should filter these quotes so that we only get the ones that actually have attribution. So I'm just going to do a filter and then filter the ones where x.has own property and then attribution. That way it's always going to be one that has attribution. And then I think I also, I messed this up by not saying attribution. Cool, gotcha marks, nice. Okay, so let me hop back over to my HTML because I think we've got like, I guess what I need to do before I jump into that is I need to figure out how to randomly get one of these quotes out of the quote machine so that I can pass it into my handle click and then set it. So what I need to do is basically pick a number between 0 and whatever the length of this is. So I think what I'll do first is I'm going to just go ahead and pull this guy out and say filtered quotes, or maybe just say const quotes with attr equals, and then I'll use my filter there. And then I will call my filter here, and that should bring me back to the baseline there. Perfect. And then what I want to do is I want to figure out the length of quotes with attr, and I need to figure out how to get random number in range. I know this is like probably the most like searched. I feel like this is a really searched thing, and I feel like I always have to come back. I just can never remember. Get random int max. So I want to do like 0, 1, or 2. Oh, perfect. 0, 1, or 2. Nice. This is great. So this is exactly the function I need. Steal that and put it into our project here. So now we have a way of getting that random. And we will call, when we do a handle click, we will call get random int, and the maximum length will be the quotes with attr dot length, and then we will set the current quote to quotes with attr and point it to the random int that we get. So when we click this, it does nothing. Let me see if maybe we need to do -1 in here. Let's see. Click this. It does nothing. Let's try this. Let's just try setting it to the number that we get, just so that we can see what's actually happening here, hopefully. So current quote. Oh, wait a second. I forgot. This set current quote is not actually, we need to call the click handler. My bad. This might have actually been working. I just forgot to set that. So let's see if it's actually giving us a number. It's not giving us a number. Interesting. Set current quote. Oh, because this isn't an object, so it's not going to like render this out correctly. But if we switch it back to using the original array and then use this random pointer, I'm guessing that that will work now that we're actually calling it. Yeah. Sweet. So we are now generating random quotes, so that's good. Let's see if that works, because I'm thinking they may want us to make a actual API call. So I'm going to see how that works. Let's do this. Run tests, and then look at this test thing. All right, when the new, oh cool, okay, so when the new quote button is clicked, my quote machine should generate a new one. Quote machine should fetch new author, and then twitter.com intent path. So I need to go figure out how to do this, because I've never like made a tweetable thing before. Like I've never made a little like tweet quote thing. So I need to figure out how this actually works. Tweet link, tweet link. How to post links, how to link, click to tweet. How does this work? I just want to see. I'm guessing like they say it right here, so maybe I just need to just read this and do what it says. I'm guessing this will tell me actually what they want. So I can tweet the current quote by clicking on the tweet quote A element. This element should include blah blah blah. Maybe I should Google this, because this might be what I just don't know, like, is this included in, is this like a post? It can't be a post. So is it just like a query parameter, all the actual quote and everything? How does this work? So let's see. Okay, yeah, so it's a query parameter, it looks like. Web intent makes it easy for your site visitors to compose and post a tweet to their audience from a link or homepage. And you see that they're doing this intent tweet, and then they have this query parameter, and then they set text equal to hello world, blah, 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 blah. So I'm guessing that we need some way to convert this, like, okay, and via Twitter dev. I guess that means, I see. So this is if you want to include this. So the requirements don't specifically say that we need to include our own handle, so I'm not going to worry about that, but we do need some way to convert the quote into a text. Do they need us to have the author as well? The quote box wrapper element should be horizontal. Okay, that's already done. So what we need to do is see. I think this, it's not what's let's say turn text into query parameter JS. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's see. Using maps params.map. Is there really no like, there's no like if you're using node. Oh, here, this might be what I'm thinking of. Encode keys. Yeah, okay. So go back to the Twitter intent. I should have left that open. I'm going to copy this link and then go back to Twitter intent or web intent. So they have basically a text object. So really, so it looks like what we need to do if we combine these two concepts is, I'm going to use this parameter encoding. If you know how to use, if you know your keys and values need to be encoded. And then where are my params.map key return encode params key. Okay, let's just try this out and see what happens. go back to my JS. Dude, come on, go back up. There you go. And then inside of my tweet quote here, I'm going to need to know the text in here. And really that's all I need actually. So I can make this maybe a little bit more of a, give this component a little more functionality, just so that the, like the component, oh, dang it, I keep trying to use my shortcut for sliding text around and they don't have that. So just to keep everything, the responsibilities isolated to each component, I'm just going to give the tweet quote a text field, and then what it will do with that is create a like object. I guess I don't know what I'm even doing. Let's see, intent object equals, and then just put text in there, and then what I can do, I think what I can do is run, let's see, grab this, let me steal this code right here. Object.keys. Let's see, over here. So then take the intent object and let that do all of its fun stuff. Const in link. I don't know what a good name for that is. And then our href now will point to https whack, and then twitter.com intent, twitter.com intent / tweet. I'm actually going to use a template literal, and then slash, is it slash or is it just right after it? Intent tweet, it's a question mark. Question mark, come on, where am I? Question mark, and then I'll use my little template string here, and then I'll do in link, and I think that'll do what I want it to do. And then I need to make sure I pass in the quote here, current quote dot body. Something ain't right. Let's take a look at the inspector and just see what the console's telling us, because that always seems to help out. But now it looks like it's not. Require is not defined, so I was getting that earlier. Unexpected 32 at char2. Don't know what this is about. So I'm going to follow my standard debugging procedure and just simplify. So I'm going to just take text and pull out this whole thing here and see if that's creating a problem, and it's not. Current body, let's see, return tweet quote. Let's take tweet quote out. That doesn't seem to be doing it either. The fact that this is not like showing up very well, I'm gonna just try this. I'm wondering if maybe like Babel doesn't support, or like the CodePen implementation of Babel for this is not supporting these template strings. Interesting. So that might have been what was going on, is that the template string is not like supported in this version of Babel for whatever reason. Again, that's stupid to me, but it's probably just my own fault for not having like a gone through any configurations for this. Let's go grab that. What was it? Const intent object. Okay, and then what I can do is just put a question mark here, and then I can set the href equal to this string plus the in link. I think that'll work. Or maybe it won't. Let's see. Oh, it could be because I'm not actually, I might need to do that outside of the tweet. Let's see, text current. Oh, of course, now this is weird. It's not even, is there something else wrong here? Oh, interesting. So it doesn't like this object keys map. Oh, maybe because I don't have this like, this is dumb if this is the case. I don't have this like mapped like that. I'm like really concerned about ES6 stuff that I'm using in here now because that other thing wasn't supported. Tweet quote, intent object is, what am I doing wrong here? Oh, maybe I need to like do a if text then do this because of the React not, or like refreshing before the data is ready or something. Rendering before the data is ready. No, it doesn't seem to care about that. What if I just make my own little like test thing here? I don't even use the property in our intent object. Return, is this encode URI component thing like not, where does this come from? It's not available. Stringify params. Can't use that. jQuery we could use. ES5 object.keys query string. Okay, why is this not working? Let's try. Oh wait, do I just have a random thing in there? Is that, no, that's not doing anything either. Let's try passing this guy. Function key, params key. Maybe params needs to be an array. Is that my problem? I mean, I thought this is an object, so I don't know why this wouldn't work. Object.keys, and then we're getting the key, so it would be text. And then we're mapping that, passing text into here and returning text plus equals plus params. So I don't understand why that's not working. That seems dumb to me. Because I think that should be fine. Intent object if, oh, now I am screwing things up by having it there. Is it just this code right here? Okay, it's just this code. What is going on here? Object.keys, intent object. Object.keys. Let's just try, can we do just this? Can I just do object.keys on intent object? I can. So then it's when I do map. Is it this join? No. Is it, I'm going to switch this to an arrow function. Not that that's really going to matter, but just try it. Dot map key and key. Huh. Why? Oh, derp. Here we go. That's the problem. And then join. Okay. Tweet quote. So now I've got this tweet quote here. Can I add my in link just after that, or do I need to make in link? Okay, I'm gonna do this. In link equals our Twitter link concatenated with our object keys dealio here, and then just rip this whole thing out and call it the link. Oops. href equals in link. Okay. New quote. Tweet quote. So let's see. Twitter post to tweet to Twitter. Test. Okay. So that's sort of working. Let's do our destructuring there. And then open that up. Post to tweet to Twitter. You can never live it. Cool. So this is working. And what else? Any other thing we need to do here? I guess we might as well make the tweet or the quote that starts up be something random. So we could actually just do a handle click. Or let's see, get random int, just do this. Copy that and paste it into the use state. And that way, every time it starts up, it uses a random tweet. And then, oops, dang it, shoot, I clipped it. Okay, cool, we're good. And then let's go ahead and run these tests and see what we got here. Cool, all tests are passing. So there's really, I mean, this is super, super simple. One thing we could do to improve it would be to have the like the author in here as well. And we could do that by setting our text equal to, actually we could just do it here. So tweet quote, and then we could say we want it to be the current quote. I'm going to try these templates strings again because it might have just been my own fault. And then give it a little hyphen, and then current quote dot author. What is it now? It's not. Is it author? Current quote dot attribution. Right, and then we close that text property up. Alrighty, and then let's try tweeting that out. Dang it, I keep forgetting to do that in a new tab. Tweet that out. Now it gives us the actual person that's there too. Cool. And like obviously like the UI is super, like I didn't care about it at all because it's just I'm basically just trying to get through this front end library certification and meet the standards. I don't really care about the about how it looks because this project really isn't that interesting. But yeah, I think this is good to go. So this is honestly a really simple way to do this. We could have done like an actual API call. We could have spiced up the UI. But overall, I feel like this is pretty easy, a pretty nice way to do this, just to get that done. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this link and head over to my front-end libraries and say I've completed this challenge. Cool. So we'll be working on a markdown previewer next. That sounds hard, or at least more challenging than what we just did. So that'll be fun. So I'll see when I can get to that later.